Hello my dear students, I hope you people are fine. So in this video, let us continue with the furthermore topics of typical configuration of computer system. In our previous video, we have completed the schematic diagram of motherboard, and then we have completed with the chipset of North Bridge and the South Bridge, and then BIOS. So in this video, we will continue with our next topic, that is the CMOS battery. Here the CMOS actually stands for complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Complementary metal oxide semiconductor battery. This CMOS, it's a kind of a memory chip that stores the date, time and the system parameters. These parameters are loaded every time the computer it has been started. For an example, suppose if you are having the Windows operating system, suppose you have changed your desktop wallpaper resolution, you have changed it. Okay, basic usually by default a different wallpaper will be there, which has been set by the operating system. You might have changed the wallpaper and you might have changed the resolution of your wallpaper, and then you have changed the graphics of your screen resolution. So whenever you on your computer system, you will not have the default wallpaper. You will have the same wallpaper which you have updated, and you will get the same screen resolution and you will get the same graphics effects that you have previously applied. So these are nothing but the system parameters. Usually the system parameter, usually the changes which are being done by the users for the system will be stored in a memory chip known as the CMOS. Not only the system parameters, it also usually allows to store the date and time. So every time you on your computer system, every time the current date, time and the system parameter what I previously have made changes, everything will get loaded. That is why we observe whenever the computer is turned on, the system will display the correct time, because this CMOS battery stores the date and time, so that you need not to manually reset them every time whenever you boost or start the computer system. Usually the BIOS and that is the BIOS basic input output system, the BIOS memory chip and the CMOS memory chip, they are the long lasting, they are the lithium batteries. They are made up of the lithium batteries. Here you can see on our motherboard, these are the CMOS batteries. It is written here, it is made up of the lithium. So CMOS stands for complementary metal oxide. This is the memory chip that stores the date and time as well as the system parameters. Moving on to the next, that is the slots. I'll show you. Now these are called as the slots. Slots are nothing but it's an opening in a computer where you can insert on the printed circuit board. Slots are usually called as the expansion slots. Now this is a slot, this is the slot. These are the slots that are being placed. This is also again a slot. These are the slots that are being placed on the printed circuit board, that is onto the motherboard. And usually all these slots are commonly called as the expansion slots. Why they are called as expansion slots? Because they allow to expand the capabilities of the computer. These all expansion slots serve the purpose of adding certain extra functionality to the computer. These expansion slots are located on the motherboard. These expansion cards or the slots are inserted in the expansion slots. They provide the new feature by increasing the performance of the computer. Therefore, we are having the different slots, like we are having ISA slots, we are having PCI slots, AGP slots, okay, RAM slots. So different kinds of slots we are having. Just an example I'll give you how these expansion slots are increasing the capabilities of the capabilities of the computer. For an example, if your computer does not have the sound capability, then we need to install the sound card into the expansion slot. Usually the PCI slot, this PCI slot allows to insert a sound card on this expansion slot. This is usually a slot. So this PCI slot help you to insert a sound card into it. Whenever your computer system doesn't have the ability to provide a sound capability, then we can install a sound card into this particular slot. That provides an additional functionality to the computer. What additional functionality? That is the sound. Similarly, we have the ISA, PCI, AGP slots in order to provide some of the other additional functionality to the computer system. So, which is the first slot that we are going to discuss is the ISA slot. That is this ISA slot, which stands for Industry Standard Architecture. This ISA slot, it is being designed by the IBM company. It is used to connect the modem and all the different kinds of input devices. Moving on to the, just we should know what are these ISA slots and what for purpose they are used. Usually they are used to connect the modems. Then moving on to the next one is the PCI slot, that is the Peripheral Component Interconnect slots. These PCI slots are usually connect to the graphic accelerator cards. Okay, so your Windows operating system, it's a GUI based, that is a graphical user interface. So it's all because of this PCI slots is providing you the graphic card. Okay, and usually the PCI will provide the 2-dimension graphics it will provide. Plus PCI supports also help you to connect the sound cards. It will also support for the internal modems or SCSI cards. SCSI cards stands for small component system interface, where this SCSI cards provides the high performance hard disk, high-end scanners, CD-ROM drives. Use these SCSI cards for the fast data transfer rate. Okay, so by using this PCI slots, you can connect to the graphic accelerator cards, sound cards, internal modem, as well as the SCSI cards. So I said the ISA is also providing you to connect the modems plus the PCI. But what's the difference is PCI is providing the extra different facilities like sound cards and the graphics. Plus these PCI slots are much faster in data transfer comparatively to this ISA slots. Say for an example, these are actually the buses. I'll show you one more image slide here. Yeah, we are discussing about the PCI slots, isn't it? PCI slots actually nothing but they are the buses, they are the path. In order to connect, it will provide you to connect what? Video card, network card, sound card, TV tuner card, plus the modems card, graphic accelerator cards. Okay, all these functionalities will be provided by this PCI slots. Moving on to the next, that is the AGP slots. Okay, this AGP slot, it is meant to provide the faster access to the graphics accelerator card, thus enhancing the visual experience for the user. This AGP It is being designed by the Intel. Actually, graphics is also provided by the PCI slots, but the enhanced version, the AGP is the enhanced version of the PCI slot. It provides you the faster access to the graphics, and almost it is providing for the 3D graphics. It is providing mainly, it is used for the gaming purpose. AGP slot, it is an advanced port which is designed mainly for the video cards and the 3D accelerators. Okay, then moving on to the RAM slots. These are the RAM slots. So I'll just show you, these are the RAM slots. Onto your motherboard, I'll just show you. These were the PCI slots. These PCI slots were being actually designed by the Intel company, and then these are the AGP slots. They are also designed by the Intel company itself, but here it provides the higher, it is a higher version of PCI slot. Almost all the modern computer, before earlier motherboards were not having this AGP slot, they were just having the ISA and the PCI slots, but nowadays all the modern computer systems are coming with the AGP slots that provides you the greater graphics facility of the 3D accelerator. Moving on to the next one is the RAM slots. RAM slots is usually allowed to install the memory onto the motherboard. So this RAM slots, what kind of memory it is using? No, it usually allows to store the programs and the data that has been currently used by the CPU for the processing. Immediately whatever the CPU needs for the processing purpose, so that kind of programs and the instructions are being stored in this RAM slots. So RAM slots are usually of two types, that is the single inline memory module, that is a SIM, and the dual inline memory module slot. I'll show here one of these slides. Yes, actually this is what is the RAM slot. This RAM slot will be inserted here, understood, and these modules on the RAM slot, certain modules are being placed. This is what is dual inline memory module. And again we are having one more type of RAM slot. Again this is a RAM slot, and here the modules are being placed is of single inline memory module. Usually the single inline memory module, it is one of the oldest form of the memory module which can transfer only 32 bits at a time, whereas dual inline memory module can have the capability to transfer the 64 bits at a time. You can see the amount of bits. Okay, at a say here they are less number, 32 bits, and here the 64 bits at a time. So therefore almost all the, based upon the clock signal, dual inline memory module, it will transfer the data both in the rising edge as the falling edge of this signal. Hence it transfers the 64 bits. Rising edge and the falling edge I have shown you when I was discussing about the double data rate random access memory. Okay, so almost all the modern types of computer system is having the dual inline memory module that has the capability to transfer the 64 bits. Otherwise both for the looking, both the RAM slots are the same type. Okay, this is where the RAM slots are. Moving on to the next one is the processor slot. Now this is the processor slot. What is the functionality of this processor slot is to insert the processor chip with the largest chip on the motherboard. So we have seen the processor, CPU. Processor is nothing but the CPU, right? Now this is the processor. The processor, this is nothing but the processor socket. So processor socket allows to insert this processor, okay, which is can also be called as the microprocessor, and this microprocessor is one of the largest chip on the motherboard. Usually it can be identified as a heat sink, or the fan is located on top of it. Some of the motherboards I have, I think one of the motherboard I have shown you where on the processor socket the fan is being located. Yeah, here you can see there. So it can be usually onto your motherboard. The CPU the processor can be identified as the heat sink or the fan is located on top of it. Now this is nothing but the processor socket. Moving on to the next one is the PCI Express slot. PCI Express slot. PCI slots are different. That's a peripheral component interconnect. Whereas PCIe slot actually refers to the that is again the peripheral component interconnect express slot. It has the faster bus architecture than the AGP and the PCI buses. That means the data transfer between the various components by using the peripheral component interconnect express slot is higher than comparatively to the PCI or the ISA slots. Here I can show you the different slides here. Here actually this is nothing but the high speed AGP or the PCI Express slots, and this is the PCI bus. This PCI Express slot, the data transfer is very high when it is comparatively to just the normal PCI slots or the ISA slots. Moving on to the last one, that is the PC card. Okay, PC card, it is used in laptop. Usually that includes you to connect for the Wi-Fi card, network card, and the external model like dongle. So onto your side, laptop side, certain openings will be there wherever you are able to connect your modem card or the Ethernet dongle or the pen drive when you are connecting that, such kinds of slots which usually you will find it in the laptops, such are nothing but the PC card. I hope you are understanding. We have the different kinds of openings on the motherboard. Certain ones are known as ISA, PCI, AGP, okay, RAM slots, okay, processor slot, PCI Express slot, and the PC card. Students, I hope the concepts are clear to you. Solve the assignments. Take care of yourself. Thank you.